Well, like many of you, I woke up, I picked up my phone, I saw a bunch of alerts, and through my blurry eyes, I saw an announcement that a Republican had expired, but it wasn't that Republican. It turned out to be Lindsey Graham, and my first thought was, how do we talk about Lindsey Graham now? And I'll get to that. And by the way, I am hearing those reports of certain companions of Lindsey Graham's that are now free of their NDAs. I haven't verified any of that, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. But first, to fill you in, if you didn't know, Lindsey Graham, he died on Saturday night, and by Sunday morning, his friend Donald Trump was on 2 different networks explaining what his friend's death meant for a voter suppression bill. This is a big blow to the Save America Act, let me tell you. That is how Donald Trump is using the death of this alleged friend. Trump telling Jake Tapper that Graham literally called me about the Save America Act, that Graham was traveling for many hours off of a flight from Ukraine and still called in about the bill. We're going to get it passed. Then he went on Meet the Press, repeated the same story. Graham telling him, quote, "We're all set for the Save America Act."
What are your thoughts about Lindsey Graham this morning?
Well, it's devastating. I thought he was fine. He called me last night. He just got back from Ukraine, and he had a great trip. He was telling me about the trip. He was pushing very, very hard. You probably know he wanted to do the Save America Act, that he was talking about that. He was full of vim and vigor. He was tired. He said, "I'm tired," because it's a long trip. He was a strong advocate for Save America, and that's what he called me about.
How you received this news and your immediate gut reaction when you heard it.
So what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime at, the early evening, maybe in the 7s, and he called and he said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy, but he wanted to pass the Save America Act. And I said, well, we're going to get it done, Lindsey. We're going to get it done. I'll see you soon. We thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it.
Donald Trump has no shame. This Save America Act, it's Trump's only concern right now because it's the only way he stays in power. It's not his friends passing away. I mean, this guy's tried to nuke the filibuster over it, attach it to unrelated must-pass legislation, fire the Senate parliamentarian over it, and he tried to sabotage a bipartisan housing bill in a fit of rage because his favorite pet project keeps stalling. And because of his loyalty, Lindsey Graham was one of the loudest Republicans pushing it. And even now, even with Donald Trump publicly turning his friend's final hours into a lobbying pitch on live television, it still remains the same. And for the record, 4 of Graham's own Republican colleagues, Collins, McConnell, Murkowski, and Tillis, not moving. Of course, McConnell may or may not be moving. But Trump tried to spend his friend's death, tried to spend it like dirty money. And the bill, the Save America Act, didn't budge. But I want to look at what Lindsey Graham said in the past about his friend, Donald Trump. Maybe it'll shed some light on this relationship, because back in 2016, when he ran against Trump, Graham called him a jackass, called him a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. It even said that his party has gone bat crazy. He went on CNN and said, you know how you make America great again? You tell Donald Trump to go to hell. Frankly, if you want to honor Lindsey Graham's legacy, you keep telling Donald Trump to go to hell. But we know that the American people elected Trump anyway, and that's when Graham did something worse than just accepting it. By 2018, he had turned into Trump's regular golf partner, and reporters even asked Lindsey Graham to explain calling his friend a xenophobic bigot 2 years earlier, and he said, quote, "I ran out of adjectives. Well, the American people spoke, and they rejected my analysis." He didn't say he was wrong about Trump's character. He simply apologized for correctly describing it out loud. And if your final phone call got repeated on 2 television shows the next morning as a sales pitch for a voter suppression bill, is that really a tribute? Is that really continuing your legacy, or is that just more proof that even in death, you don't matter at all to Trump unless you're useful to him? Drop me in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. And look, there is one thing that I saw that caught my attention in all of this. Hunter Biden, of all people, posted Sunday about a different Lindsey Graham from before all of this. And he quoted something that Lindsey Graham said back in 2020, saying, "If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, you've got a problem. He's the nicest person I've ever met in politics, as good a man as God ever created." Graham said that with actual tears in his eyes on TV, describing a phone call after Beau Biden passed away, where Joe Biden told him that Beau was his soul. But the type of person Lindsey Graham really was happened days after saying that. With actual tears still in his eyes, probably, Lindsey Graham personally donated $500,000 to Donald Trump's legal fund to fund the challenge to the election Biden had just won. So Lindsey Graham, he sold his soul. He got sucked into Trump's orbit, and it has absolutely destroyed any goodwill he would have had in his legacy. And look, this isn't a story about just one senator. It's about how an entire party got completely hollowed out. Nobody woke up one morning and hands over their dignity all at once. You do it in small trades over years. A round of golf here, a donation here, a vote you tell yourself that doesn't count as much as the last one. Until the guy who once told America to send Trump to hell is gone, and all that is left is his death becoming a selling point for BS legislation. These people stay desperate. Desperate because Donald Trump is the only reason most of them still have a seat, or a donor list, or a career for that matter, and all of them know it. And that's why I'm going to ask you to subscribe and hit that notification icon, because South Carolina, they are about to run a 6-week sprint to replace Lindsey Graham. And holy crap, is Nancy Mace actually back? And yeah, I won't forget about those NDAs either as I start to read into those.